Hello friends, welcome here or welcome back to a very exciting video. In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to create my dream Pinterest spring and summer wardrobe. And this is going to be a mix of thrifting, altering, mending, and sewing new projects as well. So I'm beginning filming this in April. We will see how long it takes me to make all the different items that I would like to incorporate in this season's wardrobe. And this is my first fashion sewing based video, so this is new for me. So I have a few different clothing items that I'd like to get around to making or finding and incorporating in the wardrobe. I've been accumulating lots of fun images on Pinterest and I'll pop a few on the screen now to give you a general vibe of what we're going for. But overall, I want it to be cozy, comfy, kind of a cottagecore feel, and colourful. I think those are the four things that I'm really going to be honing in on for all these different projects. So I'm expecting to see lots of florals and gingham and patchwork, as you might see in this dress I'm wearing today. This is the perfect dress for spring and summer. I'm so pleased, and I think it's giving an overall indication of the kind of theme and the vibe that we're going for. So if that's something you're interested in, then please stick around. So I'd really like to get around to making some gingham comfy trousers and shorts. I'd love to make a midi skirt of some kind. I think that would be really useful to have in my collection. I'd also love to thrift a bright cardigan, like a lightweight cardigan to wear as a light layer. So yeah, those are the projects that I have in mind. I'm sure I'll probably try and make some other things as well. I know what I'm like. If you've been here for a while as well, you know I like to just chuck extra things in the mix as well. So if that sounds good to you, then go ahead and get cozy, make yourself a drink, and let's settle into a little bit of crafting, sewing, and general wardrobe shenanigans. So one of the items that I'm most excited to add to my wardrobe this season is a gingham midi skirt, and I think I found the perfect little easy thrift flip project to do this afternoon. So I was perusing the charity shops the other day and I came across this amazing dress, and I knew as soon as I saw it that it would be absolutely perfect for this project. I think like a thrift flip is a good place to start if you're a beginner sewer, or if you're like me and you don't actually own your own sewing machine. This is probably a good one that I can do by hand. So I found this maxi dress with this really lovely lilac and white gingham print. I absolutely love it. It is much too big for me at the moment, but it does have a lovely voluminous skirt to it. So my plan for today is out of this top section to create a waistband and then just thread through some elastic, which I've got here, and that will basically be it. That's the entire process that I've got in my head. And I should be left with a decent amount of offcuts of fabric from the top section as well. So that's what I'm going to be cracking on with today. I'm so pleased with this find. I think this colour is so nice. It's going to fit in with a lot of things I already have in my wardrobe. And I just think that it's the perfect kind of picnic vibe that I want for the spring and summer. So without further ado, I think we should jump right in. Alright, we're making good progress so far. I measured out the amount of elastic that I'm going to need for this project, and I just did that by holding it around my waist. Don't pull it so it's tight when it's around your waist. Pull it so it fits kind of as is, but with a little bit of extra allowance. Mine is a kind of inch in total overlap, so half an inch on either side when I stitched this together. And then all I did to create the waistband was to measure the width of the elastic. Mine is 3 centimeters, so I doubled that to 6 centimeters and added on my seam allowance. For me, that ended up being about 7.5 centimeters to add as the waistband. I cut off the excess and then I folded it over for 0.5 centimeter, ironed that down. I use the word ironed loosely because I don't have an iron, so I used a pair of hair straighteners, and then I folded it over again so all of the raw edges are encased, and then I pinned everything in place. So what I am left with right now, ready to sew, is this casing here. So it's just pinned in place, ready to go. I forgot to mention as well, at the back of the skirt, I just cut a snip down. I actually cut out one of the seams. There was a back seam on the dress, so I've used that as my opening. This is what I'm going to feed the elastic through. So if you're making this as like a separate waistband to put on top, you can just make this using a long strip of fabric. If you're making it on a garment already, then just make sure that you've got a point where you can insert your elastic. So now all I'm going to do is find a needle and thread, and I'm going to sit down and start sewing this nice and carefully and with small little stitches just on the very edges of the seam. And then after that is finished, we will thread through the elastic, and that's when the skirt will really start to come together. Okay, it's been a couple hours and I think it's done. So I believe this is the second project that I'm going to be tackling, and that is that I want to customize a t-shirt. I love graphic t-shirts. I think they're so fun, and I really like the idea of having something with a bit of interest on it that's not a pattern. I have a few like stripy t-shirts or pattern t-shirts, but most of them are block colors, which is really useful for the majority of the time. But sometimes I just feel like it would be nice to have something with a little bit of interest that's not too showy, and so I had the idea to do a simple embroidery on a t-shirt, and I was all set to go and try and thrift a t-shirt or two that I could do this on, when I remembered that I've actually got a couple that I've just been using as pajama tops for the past year or so, that I could totally give a new lease of life to. So I've got two to choose from. They look identical, I'm aware, but this one is a plain white t-shirt, and then I've got this one as well, which is like a slightly mild, very pale grey. So what I'd really like to do is to have a t-shirt that just says oat milk latte on it. It's my go-to coffee order. I think it would be really cute. It would be a little bit more personal to me, and I can embroider it in a fun colour thread. So I'm going to have a little raid of any of the embroidery flosses that I have in my little sewing tin, pick out a colour that I want to use, and then it's just a case of deciding which t-shirt to go for this particular design. But yeah, that is my little crafty plan for this afternoon. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my laptop, and I'm going to try a few different fonts, because I think I'm just going to find a font that I like and then trace that onto the t-shirt and go from there. So let's go and find some fun fonts to choose from. So I've got my design on my embroidery hoop on my t-shirt. I'm gonna pop some YouTube on in the background and make myself a cup of tea and enjoy my afternoon of embroidering away and making something beautiful to wear. It looks so cute, you guys. Let me just take it off the hoop. Are you ready? I love it so much. Look, how cute. It'll look so much better once the other creases come out, but oh, that's so cute. Is it wonky? Or maybe I'm just holding the shirt wonky. Either way, it's got character. I really like it. I think it's very cute. And it only took me like just over an hour to do everything, and I was filming as well, so it took a little bit extra time. A very, very quick craft to do this one, and I love it so much. Hello friends, welcome to a brand new day. I think the time has come to do a little bit of decluttering. It's also coincided with the fact that there are a lot more warm days at the moment than cold days. Like, we're fully past that point of spring. So I think today is the day where I need to just get out all of my clothes and rifle through and see if there's anything I want to give away, things that don't fit anymore perhaps, things that just aren't feeling like my style, and then go from there. I've already done a little clear out a few months ago, which I still actually need to take to a donation point, but I think today is the day to go through everything else that's in my wardrobe and put some things away for the season as well, because we don't need super heavy knitwear out right now, so that can go into storage for the season. As daunting as it is, the best thing to do is to just crack on and go for it. So I'm gonna put an episode of Teen Wolf on. Yes, I'm rewatching Teen Wolf. It's the perfect brain off kind of TV show just to have playing in the background. So that's gonna keep me company, and we're gonna see how quickly we can do this. I'm hoping it won't take too long today, but we shall see.
Gotta find my way home to the records and dark and a little cold. My way home, 'cause I've gotta take.
I think we have our work cut out. All right, Teen Wolf, where are you? Let's crack on.
Step outside, breathe it in. Always seek to find where I end and you begin. Oh, 'cause it's the heartache I feel when you're stood in my reflection. Oh, I need some direction, but don't carry me to heaven, 'cause I fall to hell. I've gotta
This is one of my
take
all-time favourite summer dresses. And I'm so excited for it to get properly warm again so I can wear it out. It's so pretty. Makes me think of summer holidays. I love the colour, and this little cover up that I'm gonna keep. How cute! How cute is that? Oh, I'm excited to wear this. I've also decided that I'm gonna hang on to these two jumpers until autumn and winter roll back around and see how I feel then. Then I've also got a pile of things which I'm gonna let go of this time. This one, I just bloody love it. It reminds me of a drumstick lollipop. It's my drumstick lollipop jumper. But it makes me so unbelievably happy. So I've talked myself out of this one, I'm gonna keep it. But other than that, let me show you the stuff which does need to go in storage and how much more organised and well spaced out all of my clothes are to make room for the pieces which I've been making and which I found on Vinted. I think this is a very reasonable pile of winter clothes to be putting away. We've got 3 jumpers, 2 of which you just saw. This one you'll recognise if you saw my Vlogmas videos. Wore that a lot. So as for right now, I just need to clear up the mess on my bed. Most of it can go in a carrier bag or in a storage box, which makes me feel really accomplished for this afternoon. So the next time you see me, I will either be showing you some thrifted finds or I will be making something. So stay tuned and we'll both find out what comes next. Hello friends, I am coming to you today to do a very small thrift haul. These are things I have been accumulating over the past 3 months, I would say. Oh, my voice. My hay fever is most definitely acting up today. It is currently about 30 degrees outside, so I am trying to keep cool indoors today, and I thought I could go through and show you a few of the items that I have picked up quite recently to become part of my spring summer wardrobe, and some of them, as you'll see, will go well beyond that, which is always what I'm looking for when I add new items to my wardrobe. I really try to look for things that have longevity, things that are really kind of flexible in their styling and can be paired with loads of different things throughout the year. I will let you know the brands of everything that I got, but they are all secondhand. So the first thing I'm going to show you is not really for this season, but I just couldn't resist it. It's just the most me jumper. Yes, you heard that right, a jumper, a woolly jumper no less, but I will get wear out of it this summer. In fact, I already have done when it's a lot cooler in the mornings or the evenings, or just those cooler kind of spring, end of spring, beginning of summer days, and I know I'll get a lot of wear out of it come autumn and winter. So the first one I got, as I said, is this jumper, which I am just in love with. It is originally from Primark, but it is this like beautiful ivory background, and then it has this kind of like cross stitch design on it in navy blue and this lovely red colour. I feel like it's translating on camera as a very dark red, but it's not that dark at all. In fact, let me see if I can put the brightness up a little bit. That's probably more true to life, but it is just so lovely. I love that it also has the design on the back, and I'm just imagining wearing this on the beach, on a windy beach with some comfy trousers or over the top of some pajamas in the summertime. I've been wearing it with like looser jeans and a pair of sandals when it's been a bit cooler, and yeah, I love it. I can't wait to wear it throughout autumn and winter. Imagine this around Christmas. Oh, it's going to be perfect. So I'm absolutely in love with this jumper. The next item I didn't get from Vinted, I got from a charity shop, and it is a pair of lightweight trousers. These are actually walking trousers. They're from a brand originally called Rohan, it says on the pocket there, which is a really high quality kind of hiking and outdoors brand. Fun fact, I actually used to work for them a few years ago, so I knew how good quality these were, and I got these for £5, which is an absolute steal. They've got an elasticated waist, super comfy, and they were actually quite long, so I did end up taking them up, but I don't think you can see it. I've done it by hand, and I'm going to be doing another little alteration to the next item a bit later today, so I'll show you how I do that. But these are just a really lightweight hiking trouser basically. They're wide leg, they're so comfy, they're really good for the warmer weather, and yeah, just a really versatile piece. You'll have seen me wear these in my clean and reset with me video, which I'll link up here, which I posted a few weeks ago. But yeah, those are those trousers, and I love them. They're so useful to have. I've got so much wear out of them already. Next item I have to show you is also a pair of trousers from Vinted. These are originally Marks and Spencer's, and they are a dark navy 100% linen wide leg trouser with this like pinstripe detailing on them. They are so lovely. They are just gorgeous. They've got so many pockets, a lovely elasticated waist, and this is so like much better quality than I could ever hope to make myself. I know at the beginning of this video I was kind of throwing around the idea of maybe I'd like to try and make a pair of trousers or shorts or something, but in terms of my sewing ability and what I have access to, which is all hand sewing at the moment, this seemed like a really good option, and they were a really fantastic price. However, they are quite long despite being a regular length, which is normally what I am. So today I am going to kind of take these up a little bit. I probably need to take them up by 1.5 inches, something like that. So I'm going to do that a little bit later on after I've shown you this next item, the next and final item. But they are just so lovely. I mean, just imagine. It's going to be so cute. Or with my the oat milk latte t-shirt that I did. Yes, that is absolutely what I want. And my final item is one that I am quite sad about actually. It is a bit of a fail, but I thought I would show you it nonetheless. You guys know I was on the hunt for a bright coloured cardigan, something that I could wear with my dresses and with all my different summer outfits, but just something that wasn't a neutral. Yeah, I just wanted something with a bit more like zest to it, a bit more fun, a bit more colourful. And oh boy, did I end up getting colourful. I was led to believe that this was a red cardigan, and to be fair, on camera, I think it does come across as a red colour. It is a very, very, very bright kind of reddish toned coral, almost neon, in fact, I would say, in person, and it's also just huge for the size that it's labelled as. Some pros though, the reasons why I got it was this gorgeous embroidery on the front and these lovely bell sleeves, which I thought would be perfect over my puffed sleeve dresses. However, yeah, this was one of those vinted fails where it just was not what I had hoped or expected it to be. I am deciding whether I want to keep it or not. In fact, let me try it on for you now with what I'm wearing. It might not look the best, but maybe you can give me some inspiration. You can tell me if it looks really bad or if I'm being over dramatic. The main thing that bugs me about it is the colour. It just doesn't go with any of the things that I thought it would go with, because it's just so too bright. Like, it's way too bright. It is very comfy and cozy, but I do think it's probably just a little bit too oversized. I don't know whether I can pull it off or not. Is there any way I can step further back? Okay, let's try here. You feel like you can maybe see it a bit better in terms of, I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to end up maybe in a nearby charity shop, but we will see. Maybe I'll watch this footage back and decide for myself what to do with it, but let me know your thoughts and feelings. So whilst I have you set up here, these are the trousers I'm going to be altering today. I'm going to try them on and then just roll up the bottoms to see how much I need to take off. I'll pin them in place, and then I'm literally just going to do a very simple little stitch all the way around the bottom on both legs, making sure that they're even. I'm really excited about these trousers. I think they're going to be excellent. So without further ado, I'm going to grab my sewing things. I'm going to put this lovely collection of clothing away, and we are going to get down to business fixing up these trousers. Hello friends, I've just come back from finishing filming up the lookbook from the little outdoor clips. I've never filmed like a proper lookbook before, so I just tried to do the things that I normally would do wearing those outfits, so you would see how I would kind of ordinarily style them. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it looks okay. I haven't edited it together yet. I was actually putting off filming the lookbook and kind of the ending to this video because as I had been reviewing the footage and editing it together, I was just like looking and thinking that I maybe hadn't done enough, like I hadn't made enough items of clothing or found enough items. And then I kind of like stopped and thought that this is part of the problem. We are constantly cycling through clothing pieces and trends, and overall that just doesn't contribute to anything good. It's bad for the planet, it's bad for our mental health, and it's bad for hoarding things in our houses and kind of making us feel less than for not having certain things or feeling overwhelmed because we have too many things. So with that in mind, this is where I'm going to cut the video, because this is where I've accumulated all the summer pieces that I was after, really. My goal with this video was to fill in the gaps in my personal wardrobe for the summertime, as well as showing some easy ways to kind of elevate or embellish items of clothing I already had, tailor pieces so that they fit me better, or just really fill in those teeny tiny gaps that I've been missing for years in my wardrobe. It wasn't to make a whole brand new wardrobe. And I thought that was really telling that I'd gone into this video with that in mind, that is my end goal, and despite reaching it, still was looking back on all this footage that I'd put together and thinking that this is not enough to show. Anyway, needless to say, it's very easy to fall into that trap, but I've been having a lot of fun actually styling the new pieces that I have in with the old pieces that I have, as well as just like rediscovering things that I haven't worn for a year or two. It's just been really nice to kind of refresh the wardrobe a little bit and get to have fun with clothing. My hope is that with this video you take away that you do not need an entirely new wardrobe to feel good or to have a really good summer. And also that clothes that you're feeling a little bit tired of can be repurposed or DIY'd to help you love them again. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, friends. This was a video that felt very much out of my wheelhouse at the beginning, but I've actually had quite a lot of fun putting it together. Obviously, videos like this won't happen very often because it's not very often that I need to add so many things into my wardrobe, but I hope that you've enjoyed it nonetheless. Maybe it's given you some inspiration, and yeah, thank you for indulging me in all of my various interests. Take care, friends, and I will see you very soon in another video. Goodbye!